following is a Matt L presentation.
As I mentioned at the top of the hour, welcome uh, to the closing tag site build series over on twitch.tv/galacticblue1. My name is Raul Smith. I will be conducting the site build this evening. So I know it's been a minute, and I know that I've been away for a long time, long enough that Twitch has deleted all the archive videos. So um, I will probably do a refresher real quick before we dive right back into it. So let's go ahead and do that. I have the test site build up, or pulled up, I should say, uh, over on this particular window right here. So as you can see, where we left off, I haven't touched the website since the last stream. So yeah, the header right here with the web appropriate closing tag logo, along with our menu right here. There's a test banner right here. I'm probably going to do something with that, hopefully uh, before the next stream. Not 100% sure. And that's part of what we're going to be doing tonight anyway. And I'll get into that here in a bit. But you also have these links right here. So you know how I always say links are in the description of the podcast episodes? Well, the links are right here. So you have your Facebook page. Pulls it up beautifully, right? Okay. We have the YouTube page. Perfect. Even has the new episodes that I've posted since we last talked. The Discord group. I'm not going to pull that up just yet. And the podcast provider right here. Boom. You can listen on Apple, Spotify, Overcast. I didn't know this until this morning. Apparently, the podcast is also on Audible. So, yay for me. But there's all of the podcast providers that we're on, if you ever were curious, or you can just stick to whatever you're using now. That's cool too. But yeah, all of those links work. All of these links down here. So your about page, got dummy text right here. I'm going to be putting my picture up soon. Contact page, you can contact regarding anything regarding the podcast. You have your privacy policy right here because every website needs a privacy policy. I don't care who you are. Back home, same thing with the contact, the about. The archives is what we're going to be focusing a little bit on tonight. I'll explain again here in a bit. And back home. So there's your refresher. So since our last conversation, things have gotten a little crazy on my end as far as my schedule is concerned. So tentatively, going forward, let's plan for every Monday and Tuesday until the site's done. I don't know how long that's going to take. I don't know if the schedule is going to stay, firm, but as it stands right now, we should probably focus on having the stream every Monday and Tuesday going forward. I'm just going to pull up the chat. Here we go. So I haven't really been doing a good job with chat lately. I don't know why. So anyway, that is the extent of that. Give me 1 second, guys. Okay. Sorry, I'm just okay. Cool. All right. So now that the introduction and refresher is out of the way, let's get back into it. So the overall objective for tonight's stream is as follows. This archives page right here. We want to be able to pull all the audio archives, even the ones that Stitcher and Spotify and Apple Podcasts, all of them basically deleted. I mean, anything before the McLean Lindquist interview, you will not be able to get on any of those providers right now. The goal is to make it so that all the audio archives will automatically populate here. Now, you're probably saying, well, if Apple Podcasts and all of them deleted all the archive audio, how are you going to be able to do that? Well, twofold. One, we have the audio archives saved on the website, so on our hosting server. So if you go to, let's say, the closing tag, if I can type, .com/audio/ let's see, hold on. I'm just pulling up a random file here. Okay. This should work, I think. Right here. Okay. Stack 16 pod.mp3. You won't be able to hear it, but that is the episode. That's the podcast episode. So the goal is to be able to auto-populate 20 of these, because there's 20 episodes, right? So 20 of these onto this page. So in that way, if someone wants to listen to one of the episodes, they can just pull it up, click on play, boom, done. So that's our objective for today. And the way we're going to do that is a two-pronged process. The first one, I'm going to kind of educate you guys on something that I've been educating myself on for the last couple months, is a PHP framework called Laravel. Now, you're probably asking, why are you doing Laravel? What happened to the previous plan? The previous plan is still going to work. But in order to pull the audio archives dynamically into the website without radically changing the website, we need a backend. And the only backend that I can think of that will do the job that I want it to do is Laravel. You're probably asking, what's Laravel? Laravel is a PHP framework. So if you ever went on a website like WordPress, Drupal, Joomla, what's another one? I mentioned Drupal. I forget the other one's name. Anyway, if you go on any of those type of websites and you ever pull up the backend code, you'll see that there's like a bunch of just PHP, just jumbled gibberish, as I like to call it. But PHP is a programming language very similar to HTML, JavaScript, CSS, so forth. but it's backend. Okay, it's specifically designed as a more secure backend than, say, Node or any of those other ones. Laravel is also relatively easy to install, and I'll kind of show you how I've been doing it on my end. So the first thing we're going to do, we pull this back up here. There's a strange sound going on in the background. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but hold on one second. And of course, right as I take my headphones off, it stops. Go figure. Anyway, so what we're going to do, let me switch windows here, is we are going to open a new terminal inside a folder that I created called Testing Projects. And this basically holds all of my projects that I'm doing a lot of testing on right now, and so on and so forth, and a lot of my Laravel projects as well. So I'm going to go Laravel new. Hold on one second. Let me do something very, very quickly here. 1 second. Oh, wow. I got gas today. I don't know why. Okay. I'm just pulling up my instructions here. Okay, so it's not Laravel new. Okay. All right, so composer create project, Laravel, the closing tag, prefer dist. So we're doing this. I am going to go on to my hosting provider. You won't be able to see it, but I'm going to go on my hosting provider and install Laravel on that end as well. So I'm just going to do that and talk a little bit while I do that. And yes, I prepared for this because of the fact that my computer has been slower than ever in recent months. So, and it's part of the reason why I haven't been streaming is because I've been trying to find different ways of speeding up my computer, and right now it's just at a point where I just have to come to accept the fact that it's old. So once I have enough funds to get a new computer, I will do that. But in the meantime, I'm just working with what I've got. So I'm setting up a database, galactic closing tag archive. Again, I know you can't see it because, security wise, it's probably not a good idea for me to be flashing what I'm looking at right now on really anything public right now. So let's see, so adding user owl to closing tag archive. And that should give me all privileges, and it does. Sweet. Oh, 83 package suggestions. New dependencies, great. And there's done. Sweet. Cool. So I'm just gonna kind of wrap this up on my end over here. Sorry, I'm just trying to make sure that I get this set up and good to go. Give me 1 second, guys. Okay. So let's see, Laravel. We're going to install on the closingtag.com directory backend. Install. Booyah. Okay. So now that should be good to go. Hopefully. So now we're back over here. Now you can actually see what I'm doing. Now pull up the closing tag right here. Let's see. So setting up the database credentials. So I am going to have to do something here real quick. This is what's called an env file. So this is critical when you're dealing with anything backend related, whether it be Laravel or Python or whatever, is you're going to have this env file that has all of the sensitive information. So like your database host privileges, your passwords, all of that is going to be put in this particular file. And the reason it's critical is because it separates that information away from the rest of the site. So then that way, if you're pushing code up to production or if you're pushing code up to a Git repository, it will not push that information up to that same repository, making it publicly known like, hey, this particular host is available with this username and password. You can go on there and do all sorts of damage. You don't want that. No, you don't. So with that vein in mind, I'm going to switch to this. Don't worry, you can still hear me. So I'm just gonna go in here, make the changes that I need to make. Bum, bum, ba-da-da-da-da-da. Okay, so closing tag archive. Yep, everything looks good. Cool. Yep. Okay. And now that I'm done with that, I can switch back. See? No harm, no foul. All right. So next step, according to this, is I need to make a migration. So since we're pulling in audio archives, basically that's it. There's really no need to pull in like products or anything like that. We're just gonna pull in audio archives. So we're gonna go ahead and first of all, change directory to the closing tag. And then second, PHP artisan make migration create archives table. Okay. We're also going to do PHP artisan make model archive. All right, so I'm going to pull up some stuff from another project that I was working on, just as kind of a reference point. So we're going to pull up what's called the database migration file. So we're going to go database migrations, and from the sample project, I'm going to pull up the create products table file. And then from closing tag, we'll pull up database migrations, create archives table. This is basically how Laravel communicates to the database saying, hey, we need this column, this column, this column, this column, and these are the type of columns that we need. So we're going to pull in obviously an ID and obviously some timestamps, but we're also going to pull in table string. Actually, no. Integer. Crap, I forgot what the thing for integer is. Hold on one second, guys. Do some Googling here. Migration column types. Here we go. So available column types, integer. Okay, I thought so, but I wasn't 100% sure. Integer. I just wanted to make sure. So integer, and I believe it is going to be ep number. So episode number. Let's just spell it out. Episode number. And we're going to also create a string column. So all values in this particular column that I'm about to make will all be strings. So we're going to go string title. Table string. We're going to go, let me think, description. And then table string URL. And that's basically going to give us the URL for that particular, well, let me think about this for a second. Let me pull up something real quick on here. So the closing tag audio. Okay, so I did fix it then. Did I fix these last ones? I did not. Okay, give me 1 second, guys. I need to, no, I don't want to delete it. Just renaming some files on the server, no big deal. Stuff like this happens on stream all the time, right? Right. Yep. Might help if I didn't change the type of file that it is. And one more. That should do it right there. Okay. So we really don't need a URL string. I'm just going to take that off there. Simplify things on the back end. That's how I'm going to approach it. So migration is set up. Now, according to this, we are going to want to pull up the product model on this end. So apps or app models. Oh, right. Wrong one. App models product. And on closing tag, app models archive. So basically what this is telling the database is we want these particular fields to be fillable. So we don't want to be able to fill ID or timestamps. Those should be automatic. We want to be able to, however, fill in the episode number, the title, and the description. So we're going to go ahead and do protected billable. That's going to be an array. So episode number, title, and description. Pretty simple. So I've got itch right here. Okay, so we're going to save that. Now the magic happens. So we're going to go PHP artisan migrate. And this is a beautiful site that you definitely want to see. So you've got, it does this a lot with Laravel, where it creates a user table, a password reset table, a failed job table, and personal access token table that you really don't need. Let's be honest, especially with a smaller project like this. But this is the key right here. Create archives table. So if we go, let me just do this real quick. Over to the hosting server. Again, I know you can't see it, but it's happening. So yay. We'll go PHP myadmin. Okay. So I'm just going to hide that for a minute while I show you guys. So as you can see, I am on the hosting server PHP myadmin backend. You can see it's created an archives table right here. And you can see it has a column for ID, episode number, title, description, created at, and updated at. Hold on one second, guys. Solicitors, gotta love them. Anyway, so back to it. Nope, wrong one. There we go. So anyway, as you can see, it has ID, episode number, title, description, created at, and updated at. So pretty cool, right? Okay, so we're going back in here. We're falling a little bit behind schedule here, which is not good. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and do what's called creating a product controller. Except it's not going to be named product controller. It's going to be archive controller. Okay, and then we're also going to create a resource named archive resource. Beautimus. And now I got something in my eye. Lovely. This stream is going swimmingly, let me tell you. All right, so going to the practice project, we need to go to app HTTP controllers. And product controllers here. And then for here, it's going to be at HTTP controllers archive control. So first thing we want to do is we want to copy, well, not really copy, but like, let's do this. And then we want app models archive and archive resource in that one. In here, we want, so this is basically what's going to set up your API. And yes, I am going to teach you in not so many different ways how to create your own API. It's really simple. Once I learned how to do it, it was really simple. So we're going to go ahead and create our index function first. So archives, archive, order by, should order by, order by episode number. And it's going to be pulling in the archive resource, which we'll touch on here in a bit. An archive collection. Next thing we want to do is we want to show that particular archive. So it's going to show that particular episode number. Archive, 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 and archive resource. Cool. Now the rest of these, don't really want to worry too much about that. This is basically for adding a new archive. This is also for adding new archives. This is for updating a current archive, which I'm really not that concerned about having that on the front end. And then of course, destroy, which is, as you would probably guess, delete that particular file, which we really don't want to do. There's enough of that going on right now. We really don't want to continue doing that. So we'll leave those as they are. So that's gone. So this is our archive controller. So it's basically going to take the archive from the archives table, and it's going to order by episode number, and it's going to store them in what's called a collection. So it's going to collect all the archives from the Closing Tag podcast, and it's going to store them in this archive resource collection. And it's going to show them in list format on the website. This is going to show the individual archive, and it's going to pull from that same resource. Now I'll show you how that works in a bit. So we're going to save that. Now we want to go to our practice run here. App HTTP resources, and app HTTP resources, archive resource. Okay. And my hand's itchy. Lovely. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and pull this whole thing right here, copy paste it, boom, done. So ID, the heck's going on now? Yeah, so many things going on right. This is one of the reasons why I've been hesitant to do any streaming because there's a lot going on. It's like every time that I'm trying to do work, I'm fine. Nothing's bothering me, nothing's really, getting in the way. But the minute I start streaming, it's alert after alert after alert after solicitor at my door. You know, it's crazy. Episode number. Okay. I'm just going to delete those. So we want the title. This title. And the description is going to be this. I'm so used to typing this dot. Can you tell? This description. Okay. Oh, that's what's going on. Okay. Cool. All right. So now that that's done, you can go ahead and save that. And now the magic happens. So we're going to go in here and close those out and those. And we're going to open our routes folder, API routes folder. And this is going to be where it gets a little tricky, but at the same time, it's going to be the most important part of this entire process. So we want to go ahead and we're going to use app HTTP controllers archive controller. This is where we're going to have some fun right here. So remember those two things I showed you earlier, index and show? There they are right there. So we're going to copy at the very bottom of the file, paste. Obviously, we're not looking to get products, we're looking to get archives. Archives/archive. And we're going to keep those. Oh, no, we don't. Never mind. Hold on. I just spotted it. We're good. Nope. Come on. We're not doing AR. We're doing archives. Okay. So once you type in, your closingtag.com/archives, that's going to pull up the archives. So now we're going to go ahead and test this, but we're going to test this in a different way. So give me 2 minutes. I just got to do something very quickly. I will be right back. I'm just gonna just doing this thing. Yeah. Okay, so we are going to the closing tag backend. Then we go here to my sites folder. Testing projects, closing tag, and we need to do this, this, and this. I think that's all of them. Yeah, it should work. All right. Oh, and I gotta also copy the env file. All right, I can certainly do that. Okay. So now, back over here, we're gonna do some more testing. Give me 1 second. Let me pull this up real quick. I'm just gonna do some random, well, not really random, but oh, you know what I need to do first before I do testing? I need to actually add a thing. So let me just do that real quick here. I don't know what I'm doing. Anyway, let's see. All right, PHP admin. Right. Just gonna expand this out for a quick second. Okay. Again, I know you can't see what I'm doing. That's by design. I apologize. Okay, so I'm just kind of pulling stuff up at random here. Well, not really random, but like just trying to get a better idea of what I'm doing here. So recaps, where are my episode recaps? Uh-oh, did I delete the file? Oh, no, I didn't. Here we go. Okay. Okay, so I need or 0001. Okay. So episode name, pilot or something. Okay. Current time, 0002. I'm hoping this actually works because otherwise we're gonna have a problem. Where are the football-y things? Was episode 2. As I'm reminded, episode 2 is when I started my campaign to disavow Kyrie Irving. Okay, so archives. Oh, it didn't work. Son of a. No, I didn't want to do. Okay. We're going to improvise here. I know it's probably not the wisest move, but we'll figure it out. Add a column after description. And it's going to be a string. Where is it? Where's my string? Here we go. Varchar string. Wait, no? Hold that thought. Structure. Yeah, varchar. Okay. Sorry, again, I know that you guys can't see this, and that's, with all due respect, by design. See, URL. I'm just trying to be as safe and as secure as possible. Okay, we're good. Awesome. Save. Please enter a valid length. Okay, fine. 255. It's fine. Cool. Whatever. Okay, so we're going to edit these two. Okay, so tag.com audio 001. Copy that. Go. In episode 2. Awesome. Now do some more of that here in a little bit. But anyway, I just wanted to get 2 items in there to show you how freaking cool this is going to be. So, not what I was hoping to show right off the bat. There we go. So by the way, if you're doing any kind of API testing, may I recommend Postman. So I'm just going to have this up temporarily to just show you what all I'm doing. So anyway, so we're doing this. So we're going to do this real quick. So we're going to type in // the closing tag.com/backend/ what's the thing again? Sorry. Backend public API. And I believe it was archives. Yep. So we're going to send. And there, I don't know if you can see it very well on the screen, is our 2 episode archives I just added. And that's a little weird. Oh, I know why. I know why. Okay, give me a minute. I'm going to make another couple changes here. But anyway, so that's kind of that whole thing. So I just wanted to show that. So now the main thing that we'll probably end up doing on the next stream is we are going to go ahead and set up the UI, the design aspects of the archives list. Well, we might have some time to do it right now. Let's try it. All right. Sorry, I had to grab a drink there. Just make a few changes here. So instead of 255 on those, we're just do 500. Well, what am I doing here? All right. We'll do 500 on both of those. Well, no, 255 on the title should be good. No, it's the description that keeps cutting off. That's the. Here we go. 500 characters ought to do the job. We'll make those changes later. Sorry. So as you can see, I have the archive.js or archives rather .js file pulled up. So what we're going to do is we are going to call Axios. So we're going to go ahead and do this real quick. Do I have Axios already in here? I'm not 100% sure if I do. It's been so long. Okay, so I do. Okay, cool. All right. So I'm not worried about that then. So we're going to import Axios from Axios. So let's see here. I'm going to put in a const of archive set archive. Well, no, we don't want it similar to the name of the component itself. So I do audios, set audios. That'll work. Use state. Excellent. Did exactly what I wanted it to do. Okay. Now I'm going to do some more Googling over here. Hold on 1 second. In React, okay. So we're going to do use effect. And as you can see, it auto imported them into the file, so we're not worried about that. And then before I forget, gotta have that in at the end of a use effect, and I'll tell you why in a bit. So Axios get HTTPS the closing tag.com slash backend slash I think it's public API archives. And it's going to be a then function response on. Okay. Oh, I see. Okay. That's what I'm doing wrong. I just had a feeling. I just had a feeling that I was doing something wrong there. All right, so console log response data. Then catch error. And that's going to console log the error. Okay, so we'll save that. I realize that. Thank you. Okay. So we're going to go back over here for a quick second. No, you're not going to see them right away, but let's do a little bit of an inspecting here. So we got an object, which is a good sign. There's our data, definitely a good sign. And there's our, there is our episode archives. Excellent. So now we're going to want to, I think, add one more data to that. Yep, that did the job. Perfect. Okay. And so from there, we're going to set audios response data data. Now, I mentioned earlier about this. This is important anytime that you're using a use effect or a component did mount in a React app. Because if you don't have this in your use effect, it's going to keep doing this over and over and over and over and over, and it's going to eventually crash the site. You don't want that. I've done that a few times. Trust me, learn from my mistakes. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and do audios map. Wait, am I doing it that way? No, I don't think I'm doing it that way. Hold on. Let's go to a site that I've done before with this sort of thing. Okay, so any const. Let's actually move you to the side over here for a second. Thank you. All right. So const archived audio is going to be audios map oh, right. Wrong type of thing. I'm going off something completely different here. All right. Audios map I. Okay. Div key equals I.id. And we're going to have I.episode number, I.title, right. And then I.description. Why are you still flashing red? What's going on here? There we go. Save it. And it's a little wonky. It's a little iffish, but it is working. Sort of. It's pulling the information. So I think that's a good spot for tonight. I'm going to continue working on the database part of it, including adding the new episode that just got pushed up this morning. Um, if you did not get a chance to hear the episode, it is a rather passionate one. We'll just go with passionate, emotional also. But yeah, so I'm hoping to be back here Monday. I hope that you will be here with me as well. Give me a like or a follow on Twitch and on YouTube. Also, be sure to check out the podcast. It's the Closing Tag Podcast. You can find it pretty much anywhere: Spotify, Stitcher, Amazon, uh, Audible, Pandora, Apple Podcasts. And yeah, so I will be back on Monday, hopefully. And by then, I should have the database pretty much fleshed out and all the kinks ironed out and whatnot. And go from there. Yeah. So, anyway, as I always say at the end of every podcast episode, let me just check something very quickly here because I'm just noticing something just now. Oh, it's not pulling that in. Why is that not pulling that in? Oh, I know why. Okay. Anyway, so as I always say at the end of each podcast episode, remember to include your closing tags.
This has been a not our presentation.